this is M with Abnormal Mapping. Welcome to this Let's Play of this Konami game. This is Castlevania the Adventure, 1989 game. Let's get it started. So here we are. This is Castlevania Adventure. It's a Game Boy game, as you can tell. In Japan, it was released as Dracula Densetsu, which is Legend of Dracula, if my shoddy Japanese is correct. We'll get to the story in a second, but let's talk a little about this game. This game is terrible. It came out in between Castlevania 2 and Castlevania 3, and it's slow. It runs like garbage. I mean, Game Boy games, whatever, but you move so slow. You don't have sub-weapons, there's no hearts. There's a timer, but it's not going down. We'll get to that in a second. It's 4 levels long, but I've spent 3-4 hours playing this game and managed to get slightly past the first level. We're going to do a Let's Play, but we're going to do it with a bunch of cheats on. That's what's happening right here. I have infinite health, I have infinite lives, I have infinite time. Because if time runs out, you die. And the checkpointing is egregious. So, why am I doing this? Well, this is the start of after VaniaMania, and by the time you're listening to this, I'll probably be playing Castlevania 4 if I'm not done with it. Once VaniaMania is over, I wanted to go through and play all of the Castlevania games in chronological order, minus the ones that clearly we haven't done yet. Like, by doing this one after 3, I've already messed that up, but you know what I mean. On some level, I want the channel to have a record of all of the Castlevania games at some point. That's very exciting to me. It's like probably my favorite series of games, certainly up there. And I've only played like the Igavanias and the ones that, you know, you've seen videos of. So, we have to start with this piece of garbage, which is not auspicious, but that's what we're doing. And we're just going to do this like a really low-key touristy walkthrough because this game's hard, and not like fun hard, it's just this game plays like garbage hard. Like the jumps are really precise, we'll get to that, and like you fall like a rock and enemies just pester you. And it looks really ugly even for Game Boy. I mean, 89 was a very early Game Boy game. Like this is launch year, so that makes sense, but like, even for a Game Boy game, I feel like this game looks really sparse. And there's another Game Boy game that we'll see later on, a sequel to this, in fact, that probably, I think, looks better. I know it's well regarded. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the story. This game is a prequel to Castlevania, and you ask, but M, wasn't Castlevania 3 also a prequel to Castlevania? And yes, it was. This was by a different team, and this was back when, as if this doesn't already happen, where different teams didn't really communicate, and so both games are prequels, and they also like claim to be like 100 years before Castlevania, which is ludicrous. This made more confusing. In America, this was actually stated to be Simon Belmont, even though it is not, so it was regarded as a sequel to Castlevania 2, which is not true. That was a huge mess, obviously, until, and remained as such until Koji Igarashi, who created the later Castlevania game, the one that I really love, stated officially, doing a bit of timeline mending, that this game is in between Castlevania 3 and Castlevania, putting it at 100 years after Castlevania 3, but 115 years before Castlevania. Roughly 1576 is what I saw online, even though the guides obviously never had a year because it was all messed up. So yeah, this game is 1500s. We'll probably be back there again with a different character at some point, because Castlevania gets really messy in the 15th to 18th centuries. So we got this jumping puzzle, which I'll probably die on, because they're really hard. But these platforms just fall so fast, and you jump really poorly. One of the reasons this game is terrible. So look at this. This is, if you fall down, you have to go back here and basically redo this entire jumping puzzle. which we'll have to do many times. It's stuff like this, and this is just the first level, that convinced me that the only way I was going to play this is if I cheated my way through it, which is what we're doing. See, look at that, all the way back. Your timer keeps running. It's a real shame that this game is really hard. And not like fun hard. Like Castlevania is a hard game, but this is a bad hard game. And it's good to remember that games can just be hard because they're bad sometimes. Like I actually try not, because I pretty much self-select what I play, I tend to not play games that I would consider like actually bad most of the time. Like usually they're at least interesting. This I'm playing entirely because the name's attached to it, which is, I guess, what you would sell a game on. There's a really good video about this game Jeremy Parrish did for Game Boy World that you can look up. I would like to link it, but I won't remember, to be perfectly honest. Just go look at Game Boy World. You should be reading Game Boy World anyway, it's really great. But he talks about this game being also terrible and like one of the poor translations of NES games on the Game Boy, because there are really good ones, there are really bad ones. This one's really bad. So the way the bosses work here is I have to hit this and get this flashing orb, and it'll summon the boss in. Which is this guy. He has like a little grappling hook thing, which I can stay out of the range of, I think. Yeah, and get... Oh, I didn't realize he could shoot up. Yeah, we didn't actually take damage there, so I have to disable treats quickly. Disable. Because with infinite timer, it'll just keep counting up points for my timer, and never stop, which is kind of a shame. That's level 1 down. And, we will do a level 2 next time. I'm going to do a level at a time. There's 4 levels. It'll be 4 videos. It's pretty easy. Thanks so much for watching. Check out Abnormal Mapping. And, I'll be back next time with more Castlevania The Adventure. Thanks again. Bye.